Hello and welcome to Food for Lovers. I'm Maria McCurline and this is the delectable James Martin with a very nice pear there, or a couple of pears. Now we're here to put the romance back in the kitchen by whipping up some scrumptious food for lovers, aided by today's guest who is Nina Mishko. Hello Nina.
Hi,
nice to see you. Mwah. Mwah.
I'm so thrilled to be here and in the kitchen and so close to food. I mean, this is my spiritual home.
Couple of pears.
Yes, what are you going to make for us today?
Quite a straightforward dish, but this actually originates from Italy, when I was working in a very, very famous chateau in Italy, in Umbria. And it was mainly for
You've been around. Yeah.
I have, and I was there when I was about 12 years old. And this grandmother, who's no longer here now, taught me how to do this fantastic sauce using goat's milk and cinnamon to go with this dessert. And when I came back, I sort of had to play around with it, and we did some pears. We were going to do poached pears with a cinnamon and goat's milk sauce, vanilla ice cream, and then do some tuiles. Make it all look quite fancy.
I think this sounds like sauce to me, and sweet. I'm really good.
It's quite hot and cold, so you get the hot of the sauce is hot, the pears are warm, and the ice cream's cold, so you get that mixture. And then you're going to make a affinity.
Affinity?
Affinity, that's what you're going to do.
What's that?
What is it that's sexy about that today's food, or romantic?
It's a couple of pears, darling. If I can make a couple of pears that'll match your couple of pears that are already immersed in leather, then I shall be doing well. But we shall give it a go. But pears and cinnamon, fantastic.
Now this is what equal measure.
Affinity. This is no. See, you're going straight into the glasses again. This is a cocktail.
We girls like to know what we like. We like to drink it.
You've got equal measures of equal quantities of dry and sweet vermouth.
Okay, bit of that, a little bit of Scotch.
Very accurate measuring, I like.
It is actually. It's
It's the McCurline.
We do it by eye.
Yeah.
And then some of that.
Dry and sweet.
Dry and sweet vermouth. That's it. Go on,
right?
a little bit more.
A little bit more of that.
Whatever. Yeah.
A little bit of Angostura.
Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
And what do they do? What do the Angostura?
That's a little bit. Smell that. It's like a clove, and it's wonderful.
Clove and
what? Oh, it does smell like cloves, doesn't it?
Cloves and cinnamon.
It's a warming sort of smell.
Put ice in it first. Would be. You put ice in it if you want. I'll tell you what we want. We'll put ice in the glass. She's on a roll, you see now. See, the trouble is, you get to do all these shows, and she won't be able to taste the food afterwards. You see.
No, well that's fine. But I mean, this all sounds like a good idea to me.
There.
Desperately see what. Oh. Okay.
Delicious.
It's kind of honey coloured, isn't it?
It's not normally that colour, but that's probably due to the amount of whiskey that went in. Really.
Oh, have I overdone the whiskey?
No, that's fine. Put you there.
Story of my life.
Those and those.
Should I just do that?
There you go.
Keep your
right,
kitchen
and then
tidy.
fire away. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah,
cheers.
Try that.
Cheers, chinky chink.
Cheers. Chin chin, are they? Actually, I thought this was going to be completely disgusting, and it's not.
It's a bit too whiskey.
But it's quite whiskey, but it's not. I thought it was going to be bitter in some way, and it's quite sweet.
Whiskey and ice, really, isn't it?
I think I can taste more than that in there.
Can you? I'm not surprised the amount of alcohol that's gone in.
I'm persevering with it.
Shall we take this over there and let you get on with it, James?
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Don't leave me with that. I'll leave you with that one as well, so you can finish off the rest.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now, Nina, if you want to recline on the chaise,
right,
and I'll sit on the puff.
Right, back over to the kitchen.
Yes,
this is the simple part over here. So what we've got in here is some goat's milk. Now, I'm just going to run through the ingredients first of all. So obviously for the pears, we've got here some Comice pears. And if you're cooking with pears, Comice are the best ones to cook with because they don't fall apart when you actually cook them. I've poached some in there, which I've done in sugar, lemon juice and vanilla. Now, vanilla, again, if you can buy vanilla, you want to go for the bourbon vanilla. Which
is that a vanilla pod?
That's vanilla pod. There's no resemblance to sort of vanilla essence, but bourbon vanilla one is the best. You get far better value for money because the pods are much thicker and you get more seeds in.
Gosh, you just bung that in?
I've just dropped that on the floor. But yeah, you just cut that open, bung it in, and that's gone into there for about half an hour, just gently simmered. But our sauce here, now this is the special part, we've got our sauce which is goat's milk in there, and then what we do is then flake in the cinnamon, like that, crush it all up. These are just cinnamon sticks.
I've always wondered what you have to do with those.
I mean,
I've tried grating them on a cheese grater, but that doesn't work very well.
No, you just throw them in.
Normally,
normally you don't sort of break them up as much as that.
Normally I just keep them in the sugar jar, but that's all I've done with it. I've never actually
You can do with that or vanilla in
Right.
the sugar jar as well, which is really nice. Vanilla sugar is great for coffee and things like that. It's fab. Then all we do is throw in some golden syrup. There we go.
Reminds you of childhood and dentists.
Yeah.
A little bit of golden syrup. And then we throw in some caster sugar, which we've got in there.
Not at all calorific, this
No,
recipe.
this is very low in fat, this version, yeah.
Very low in fat, but very high in sugar.
That's a lot of sugar.
Well, it's all right, you know, it's fine. But sugar, I'm nobody. And
Might
then all we
just
do...
apply that directly to my bottom,
Exactly,
actually.
right, straight on the thighs.
And then we throw in, this is the secret, we throw in baking powder. We throw that in.
And why is that the secret? What does that do?
Because baking powder, it will actually, I mean, when it gets hot, if you bring that to the boil, and you see, I'll call you back, but when it comes up to the boil, if you're not careful, it boils everywhere.
Right.
But as it reduces down, it thickens the sauce, and after about 30 to 40 minutes, this is what you end up with. This lovely, rich, thick, look at that colour.
Gunky.
It's all come out of the cinnamon.
That's
All it is. It's, as it cooks, it reduces down, and all the flavour comes out of the cinnamon. And that's it.
Very good. Well, you get on with that, and let me have a chat to Nina about her romantic life. Now, I know that you've been with... Are you married to Grant?
No, very happily unmarried.
Unmarried. But you've been together for...
10.5 years, which I can't believe because it's gone by so fast.
And he's very romantic, apparently.
Well, he is, but not in the sort of sense of Valentine's Day and chocolates and flowers. I mean, he's complete antithesis of that because he says, you know, you should actually be romantic every day.
And is he?
Yes, he is.
What, like leaving little notes around? Or?
Well, yes, we always, you know, little notes. But in fact, we're romantic in the fact that we're very rarely parted, and we spend 24 hours a day together, and every day, and we don't argue.
Don't you get on each other's nerves?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, he doesn't get on my nerves. I mean, if I get on his nerves, he's been very quiet about it. No, we just don't see the point in arguing. Why would you argue? Why would you hurt somebody that you love?
Yeah.
So I suppose we're very lucky that we just sort of get on like that.
And he's Australian, is that right?
He's Australian.
So how did you meet?
We met at British Satellite Broadcasting before Rupert Murdoch took it over. I had a show of my own called Nina versus the Rest, and he was on the front desk. He'd arrived. There was this blue-eyed Australian with the sticky-up hair on the front desk, and we got to know each other over about 3 months, and then as a sort of an after-show party, we met.
So it wasn't love at first sight, but it was what, lust or
fancied,
interest?
I certainly fancied him. I thought he was really, really nice and just really sensitive and nice and very funny, always funny. And then
that's the way to a woman's heart, I think, isn't it, James?
Is it? Well, it's like clearing up because look what's happened. See, I told you this would happen, all right?
Ah, but it's passion's boiling over, there we are.
The idea is you need a bigger pan. I think that's the idea. But it will boil over. But anyway.
Does that matter? Can I
the only
help
person
in some
who's freaking out at the moment is the producer and the director who's bought the stove because I've just made a complete mess of it. But literally, you boil it like that, and as you boil it, all the baking powder, sort of, the bubbles go away. When the baking powder stops working, you can actually keep whisking it, and it will stop it from rising too much. And as it boils, it'll gently go down to a simmer, and then it'll reduce, and then what we end up with is that. But I'm going to switch that off now because that will go everywhere otherwise.
Because it's done its exploding thing.
Yeah, quick biscuit mixture we've got here.
What were you going to say, Nina?
I was going to say literally a labour of love because you really got to look after that, haven't you?
You definitely have, yeah. Otherwise, you just leave it for everybody else to clean up afterwards, like I normally do. But we've got our nice biscuit mixture here. Now, this is what we call a tuile mix, which I've got in here, which is a mixture of caster sugar, flour, butter, vanilla essence, and egg white. And it's just combining all the ingredients together. It's quite a simple recipe. You put the butter and the sugar in first, followed by the egg whites, fold in the flour, fold in the vanilla essence. You end up with this very, very fine biscuit mixture and create like these tuiles, which we'll do later on.
Ooh,
but we're going to, in between those tuiles, because I know you're a lover of chocolate as well. You quite like chocolate, aren't you?
Are you a chocoholic?
Well, it's a bit extreme to say chocoholic. I think I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I do adore chocolate.
Everybody
I really
likes
do.
chocolate.
Yeah.
But we're going to make
Bar
a little...
a day?
Oh, no, not these days. Oh, I'm very controlled.
Oh, right.
I wish. No, I don't have to have chocolate in the house. We used to have to hide it all over the house. I'm much better now. But no, if there's chocolate there, I can't resist it.
Well, you won't resist this because this is fab. And we're going to make a little chocolate, a little piping bag for some chocolate. You start off with just a piece of greaseproof paper into a triangle.
Yeah.
Fold that bit around there. And literally just
Is this
pull...
going to be the tuile thing? No.
This is just to create a little design on top of the tuile, so it creates like a nice little chocolate motif on top of your biscuit. Right. And all we do is just fold that over, pinch it like that, and you end up with a perfect little paper bag.
Very good.
That looks very good. But I'm terribly clumsy. I'm sure I couldn't do that. I'm
I'll
like
turn
fold
for you
it.
buy one. But it's
Can
quite
we actually have a
straightforward.
go when you put the chocolate... Oh, let's go and have a go quickly.
Go on.
All right.
Well, I'll let you have a go at piping this stuff on.
I think
fill
Nina
that
should
up
have a
in
go
there.
because she said she couldn't do it.
If you get ready to plate that up,
Yeah.
Oh.
like so,
Yep.
there we go. And then what I'm going to do is spread this on the top, and then you can create these little designs on the top, okay? So if I just get my tuile mix, and I've just used a bit of cardboard to cut out these little templates, which is quite
I have
straightforward.
no clue what you're doing with
It looks good though, doesn't
This
it?
looks
creates that-
fantastic.
This will all become, tell you, in part 2, it'll all become pretty
Oh,
straightforward.
right.
All we do is just spread this mixture over the top of your templates, like that.
This is more like Blue Peter than I had imagined.
What you can do is literally do this, just on the top of your little tuile, like that.
Do squiggly bits.
Yeah,
That's very good.
all right?
Nina's
Okay.
turn.
Go on then.
Okay. Which way should I do it from?
Anyway, that's it. See, you've done this before, you see, look at that.
My turn.
Go on. Whoever's left holding it last gets the last,
Exactly.
the last of the chocolate.
So you're been a bit fancy now, you see. Well, maybe not, okay.
There we go. That's
I'll
fine.
just finish off like that,
Oh, very nice.
like that.
I like those little blobs.
Welcome back. Now, before the break, I actually got my tuile mix in the oven, and we've mended the stove, or rather cleaned the stove. These two lovely ladies. Not. We've cleaned the stove, and we're going to start off by just showing you how to create these little tuiles. Now, what I've done, before the break, you showed we did those little tuile sort of mixes in the little templates. I've just moulded those over a rolling pin, and you allow them to cool down, and you can make these little fancy shapes. So when you stick them up, you create these odd little patterns.
Pretty.
I've only
And
ever seen flat ones before, or curling at the edges.
No,
sort of
even the
thing.
ones that you did, look. Look at that.
Even the ones that's rather good, isn't
See,
it?
that's
So what,
quite
you just
fun.
get them out of the oven, and while they're still warm, you
While they're
mould
still
them.
warm, you can actually mould them around a rolling pin, around a pan, around your hand, whatever, and they'll set hard, and they're like this little tuile mix. And you can actually build these up onto our plate and create this fantastic little
How do you build them up? How do
effect. I'll show you that later
All
on.
right. Fine.
Firstly, I'm going to create a little dip for you over here. Now, we always do a little antipasta sort of thing, little quick nibble. Something very, very straightforward and very easy. We've got our figs. Now, for this, just figs. Dolce latte cheese is the best one, which is an Italian sort of soft blue cheese. If you can get it in supermarkets, they do Dolce latte torta, which is laid with mascarpone cheese.
I've seen that in Harrods. I
Isn't
mean,
it
and you
fat?
look at it, you think, my goodness, there's a coronary
Try
cheese.
it. You should try it. It's
Coronary
Yes.
and cholesterol and
After it's hardening. straight away,
Absolutely.
It's
looking at it.
absolutely fantastic. But we get these
Looks
figs, which again are lovely and ripe like that.
this is all very Italian feeling, isn't it?
Yes,
as well?
this is. I mean, this is quite straightforward. This. I mean, it's quite an easy dish to create. And you just pop in the cheese like that. It's just something quick and something simple that you can easily knock up. Great with pasta, but just eaten on its own. Just heat it up with just on top of a little bit of salad. But if you're doing some pasta, I do it with like a light blue cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Lots of cream in the pasta as well, and stick these on the top, which are quite nice.
So how do you eat those then? You just what?
Literally, what you do is just wrap them up like that.
Yeah.
And then when you wrap them up, don't be sort of too fussy when you wrap them all up. You know, just put. I've got here a little bit of Serrano ham, but the problem is if you wrap them up too fussy, the bacon doesn't crisp. And if you leave it with all sort of edges hanging off, and just literally fold it over the top like that, when you actually roast them off in the oven, all the bacon and, or rather this little lovely Serrano ham crisps up, and you end up with a wonderful tasting little dish just on its own. So we just gently.
Ooh,
So that goes in for how long?
Pop those in the oven. They want about 5 minutes in a very, very hot oven. Salt and pepper, olive oil, balsamic vinegar. I'm going to finish those off with just some chopped fresh mint when they come out.
Oh, yummy.
Can't
Simple as
wait.
that. There you go.
Do you and Grant cook a lot together in the kitchen?
Our kitchen is so small that we both can't fit in at the same time practically. In fact, he does most of the cooking.
Does he?
He's a brilliant cook and he's an instinctive cook. He doesn't measure things, whereas I've always needed the recipe book like that. You know,
Yeah.
I need to do things like
A
that.
Bible.
I need a Bible, and I prefer to bake. I absolutely adore baking. I love baking. When I was 4 years old, I was pestering my mother in the school holidays, and she said, "Oh, for goodness sake, go and bake a cake." And I went and did. I mean, I could read, and I read the recipe, and I just presented it with a sponge cake.
So you would rather do things, sweet things?
It's not necessarily sweet things, but I like starting with different components and ending up with something completely
Yeah.
fantastic.
Which is why cakes are wonderful.
Yes,
actually,
but
'cause
because I don't make them, because I just eat them. So I mean, I'm
not even for other people.
well, for other people, yes, other people's children, birthday cakes and stuff. I love that, but so I'm a thwarted baker, really.
Baking cakes. We like cakes, don't we, James?
Fab, yeah. I mean, I was a baker. I was a pastry chef for sort of 7 years, and that's really what got me interested in it. But again, I used to do it with my grandmother. You know, I mean, grandmother was when I was 8 years old, she used to create fantastic cakes. My auntie, and being sort of Yorkshire roots, you were always brought up with that sort of traditionally baking, and that's all we were brought up on, really.
It's the smell, isn't it, in the house as well?
I just loved it, you know. I mean, things like boiled cakes, which is quite straightforward, you know, just with boiled oranges or lemons that you blend through in a machine, you throw everything in together, pour it into a dish and bake it. And my granny used to do a fantastic thing called dripping cake, which is fab. And she used to...
Dripping cake?
Beef dripping. And you can't get that anymore, because proper beef dripping, they don't make it anymore. It's that layer of fat on the bottom. And as kids, we used to run in the pantry and scoop it out and eat it on bread. But
I have to say, it sounds actually Victorian to me.
But my granny used to create this wonderful dripping cake with sort of spiced dripping cake. It used to be fantastic. But all that sort of food you were always brought up on, but
Beef
wonderful.
dripping cake. Now, I was talking to Grant and he was telling me that he did a very romantic thing, which was to take you to the airport. And you didn't know where you were going.
I didn't know where I was going, because a couple of years ago, and it was February, it was ghastly weather, and I was due for a little week's break, and normally I would book things. I'm very Tory, and I make lists, I tick them off, I do all the arrangements. Grant normally doesn't know which airport we're going from, what airline, how long the flight is, or indeed where we're going to stay at the other end. I mean, I do all of that. He said to me, this time, I'm going to do it, darling. And he wouldn't tell me where it was. I said, well, at least tell me what sort of things to pack. So he said, you'll need one decent outfit, but you'll need your swimming costume and your exercise gear as well, because it's got a pool and, you know, I thought, for some reason, I thought Istanbul, because I thought it was a little cheap break, but there'd be a posh enough hotel where you could, you know. So off we went to Gatwick, got to Gatwick at 6 o'clock in the morning, and when the boot came out of the taxi for us to get the little bag out that I'd packed, and he'd made me really be disciplined, there was our big suitcase.
That he had packed as well?
That he had secretly packed. And we stood there in the queue, shuffled forward. He said, no, let's go in that queue over there. And, because this one had said Venice, and I thought, fabulous, Venice or Ibiza. I thought, wow, fantastic. But no, he said, let's go in this one. Will they check us in? Yes, they will. Checked us in, and they said, it's Venice then, as you came from the other queue? And he said, no. Ibiza? No. Where are you going, sir? Sydney. Well, I mean, I
burst into tears, he said.
I burst into tears.
Which is a very good girly response, I think, isn't it?
Well, and within 3 weeks, I had and we organised all the work so it didn't go wrong.
And packed you 10 pairs of shoes, he said, which surely that has to be,
That's
for men
love.
to do that, yeah. To
and
pack your favourite shoes.
All the right clothes. All the right clothes. I mean, I spoke to a friend afterwards and said, well, what would you take, for your wife? He said, a blouse and some pants. And Grant said, for heaven's sake, even I know they're called tops.
Yes. Men always say sweaters, don't they, for cardigans? Oh, a nice sweater you've got on there.
Yeah.
So you had 3 weeks.
Had 3 weeks, which was fabulous, which was just bliss in February, which should be abolished in this country anyway, as you know. It's just much too cold.
Yes, horrible. How's it going over there, James?
It's going not bad. I've got my pears here, which I'm just fanning out. We just literally pop a knife
So
in.
you took the skin off without us noticing?
No, these have actually been peeled beforehand.
were.
These are allowed down to cool down. We're just going to fan those like that. Now, you could blowtorch these using one of, Chefy...
Not me, I'm much too clumsy.
Chefy blowtorch, a little bit of ice and sugar, blowtorch the top. Alternatively, I mean, there's little gadgets that I have in the kitchen. Instead of the palette knife, you have a wallpaper scraper.
All right.
It's fab. If, like me and normal chefs, you caramelise things, not burn, but caramelise things too much on a tray, it's better to get it off your tray, you see.
But all we do... scraper you need.
We just pop the pear on like that, and then we can sort of build this up. Now, you can take a selection of your little tuiles, which we've got here. I've got some ice cream, which we can hold this, hopefully if it's going to come off.
Can I help?
There we go. Just pull that off like that. That'll be fine. And then we just literally hold up this tuile with our ice cream, like so.
You say that.
It'll hold. I have faith. There we go.
I am impressed. Impressed.
And then we can just literally pop our little tuiles on and around the edge and under the pear and everywhere. So you're just literally creating this.
It's very exotic. It's like a Philippe Star.
Yeah, like
it does.
a fab little
Yes,
thing.
it does. Designer.
I mean, it's just quite a little funky. It's quite nice. And then we grab our sauce, which we can then pour this over the top. You don't want a lot of this because it's quite strong. It is actually quite rich because you've got it's very, very strong
No
in goat's
such thing
milk.
as too rich.
No.
Very, very strong in cinnamon. And then if you're feeling a little bit poncy, you can put a little bit of mint on the top like that. And there you have quite a funky dessert. I'll bring it over for you so you can have a taste.
Thank you. How's the cocktail, by the way? Affinity. Is it Affinity or Infinity?
Well, actually,
it goes on forever with all this whiskey.
I think actually it goes rather well with something sweet because it is quite sweet.
It is quite sweet, with that sweet vermouth, isn't
But
it?
it's not cloyingly sweet.
I'm not quite so sure.
Tastes like whiskey and ice to me, but anyways.
Well, actually, I don't particularly like whiskey, so I can cope with this.
Right,
So when you're writing, Nina, does Grant bring you sort of sweet meats on?
Oh no, it peels carrots for me. I'm fueled on carrots.
Oh, so you just have something to nibble.
I nibble carrots and my lemon and ginger tea bags, and that's what keeps me going.
Do you still find it difficult, you know, when you're writing, to sit down at a blank screen and think, all
I
right,
hate it.
Do you?
There's nothing worse.
pulling teeth?
It's absolutely, you know, actually, a blank screen isn't as bad as a blank piece of paper. But I'm really not somebody who likes writing naturally. I mean, I find it a complete torture because I'm a perfectionist. I mean, I like it when it's finished.
Books, I suppose.
Yeah,
For us, it's a complete nightmare.
It must get easier, though, because you've been doing it such a long time.
No, it doesn't get easier. I mean,
No?
I wish I could say it did. I wish I could say it did. But I mean, what keeps me going, I get up very early in the morning, is it's the time I find I can write best, there's no distractions. Get up at something like 3:45.
What's the for?
Yeah, something like that, keep going. And on my little computer screen, I've got a little pussycat that, you know, this is really childish, and real computer nerds will think I'm a complete dork. But little cat comes on the screen, and he prances around the screen. And, you know, he gives me little tips, and he's just there, or he curls up, or he goes to sleep, or he chases butterflies. And that humanises the computer for me. He's just on little
Whatever
graphic.
gets you through.
It does, he gets me through.
Well, I don't know whether those two go together, but you've got a nice little antipasti there,
Yep.
which you've got the figs in, which you've got all the soft cheese in the middle.
Yep.
As I say, great with pasta. Wonderful if you're doing just a traditional blue cheese sauce.
But it was so fast, wasn't it, was the other thing.
It's really easy. As long as it's a really hot oven, you get that bacon nice and crisp. And if you use the thin Serrano ham or pancetta, it crisps up far quicker than ours.
Dig in, Nina.
I'm going to. Because, I mean, the thing about starters I always find is that you're always trying to have them ready beforehand, so but unless you can cook something very fast
This
like
you could do beforehand, get it in the fridge, and then just as they're about to eat, pop it straight in the oven, and it's, you know, very, very hot oven. Just a little bit of mint.
That goat's milk sauce is just delicious.
That's fab. Yeah.
That takes me back to Italy.
Yep, it's fabulous. That.
We went for our 10th anniversary of unmarriage to Positano in Italy, and they've got wonderful, you know, in Ravello and Capri and places like that.
Just that. Take you back to heaven.
I think we're just going to have to leave Nina in ice cream heaven momentarily.
That's lovely.
We'll be back
That's
next
lovely.
time on Food for Lovers. Bye for now.
And the sauce.